This is what God said again. Because I believe him. It's possible to me there's a door here. I believe it. All I have to do is to walk. I will say, what is it? I shall be
A ship or a water vessel without proper sail will avoid the wind.
There is no perfect church anywhere. The day you find a perfect church, you pray that you are not the imperfection in the perfect church because you are not perfect. Understanding church perfection or church imperfection and diversity. In the imperfect walls of the church, we find the perfect opportunity for grace to flourish and for our faith to grow stronger in the embrace of shared humanity. Remember, there is no perfect church anywhere. The day you find a perfect church, you pray that you are not the imperfection in the perfect church because you are not perfect. Now, there are misguided approaches to living a church. The impact of neglecting church imperfection and diversity. In connection to themes of embracing church imperfection and diversity, here are ways people often leave the church in wrong ways. We're talking about misguided approaches to living a church. Number one, living at the first sight of conflict. Now, instead of engaging in constructive dialogue or seeking solutions, some individuals choose to leave when they encounter disagreements or conflicts. This approach denies the opportunity for growth and reconciliation that can arise from working through challenges. Number two, exiting a fellowship or a church without self-reflection. Now, departing a church without introspection or consideration for one's own contribution to the issues can be misguided. Self-reflection might reveal ways to improve the situation or understand one's role in the community dynamics. Now, lacking grace and understanding, living in a manner that lacks grace, such as through public criticism or sowing discord, fails to acknowledge the imperfections inherent in any human institution, including churches. The mosaics of Harmony Church, for example. In the mosaics of community, each piece is unique, yet when bound by compassion and understanding, they create a masterpiece of unity and strength. Just a small story here. In a small town nestled between rolling hills and serene lakes, there stood a quaint church known as Harmony Church. This church, with its old stone facade and stained glass windows, was more than just a structure. It was a tapestry woven with the lives and stories of its congregation. Like every other church, even the church that I belong to, it's got its own unique tapestry around which it is woven. Now, Harmony Church was renowned for its sense of community. Mrs. Eleanor, an elderly widow, found solace in its pews after the passing of her husband. The youth group of the church was a beacon for teenagers like Tom, who struggled with loneliness in high school. And for Johnson family, who had recently moved to town, the church was a welcoming embrace, helping them to find fit in unfamiliar surroundings or territory. Like many of us, by the time we are done transiting from one church to another, we need community, like most people will attest that they also needed it. The church also shone in its outreach programs. Every Thanksgiving, the congregation came together to prepare meals for the homeless. During Christmas, they gathered toys and clothes for children in need. The church's commitment to practical acts of kindness was a living testament to their faith. However, Harmony Church, like any other, like my church, like your church, like the church next door, had its share of challenges. Like I said earlier, there are no perfect church anywhere. The arrival of a new pastor with contemporary ideas was initially met with resistance from some long-standing members who were accustomed to traditional ways in the church. Now, the day you find a perfect church, like I said, pray that you are not the imperfection in the perfect church, because you yourself, you are not perfect. So in this particular church, debates over music styles during services or how to engage with social issues sometimes led to heated discussions in the church board meetings. Some of us can attest to that. Moreover, despite its welcoming nature, Harmony Church occasionally struggled with inclusivity. When a family from a different cultural background joined the congregation, it took time for some members to adjust and fully embrace them. This is usually the case not just in the church, but even in political environments or the academia. It's the same thing. Yet it was during an unexpected crisis that the true essence of Harmony Church came to light. A fire broke out in the town, and that fire displaced several families. Harmony Church immediately opened its doors, becoming a shelter for those affected. In that moment, all differences and conflicts within the church faded into insignificance. Members from all walks of life worked together, providing comfort and aid to their fellow townspeople. The church became a unifying force, transcending its own weaknesses and embodying its greatest strengths. This is what fundamentally or traditionally most churches, or the roles that most churches serve in most communities. Now, as the town rebuilt from the ashes, so did Harmony Church. The crisis brought a new perspective, fostering deeper understanding and stronger bonds amongst its members. The congregation learned to embrace change and diversity, recognizing that these were not just challenges, but opportunities to grow, opportunities to become better and strengthen their community. See, as goes the church, so goes the home, and so goes the community. The story of Harmony Church is a microcosm of the church at large. It reminds us that while every church has its strengths and weaknesses, it is through facing challenges together that a church can truly embody its deepest values and make a lasting impact in the lives of its members and the broader community. Strengths and weaknesses of churches. That church you attend has weaknesses. The church next door has weaknesses. My church has weaknesses. And indeed, all church has weaknesses. Churches, as vital institutions in many communities, exhibit a range of strengths and weaknesses that shape their impact and effectiveness. Now, those characteristics are as diverse as the churches, they are as diverse as the churches themselves. Now, influenced by factors such as theological beliefs, leadership styles, community dynamics, and cultural context, whatever they are, it all brings to that uniqueness of the church. Now, understanding these strengths and weaknesses is crucial for church members, leaders, and the broader community. One of the notable strengths of churches lies in their ability to foster a sense of community and belonging. For many individuals, a church is not just a place of worship, but a second home where they find emotional support, social interaction, and a sense of identity. Churches often excel in creating an environment of warmth and acceptance, which in many cases is essential in today's world where many people struggle with loneliness and alienation. In fact, there are so many people who deal with anxiety, with depression, with all kinds of social issues, and the church plays a very crucial and important role. Another strength is the spiritual guidance and moral framework that churches provide. They play a pivotal role in teaching values such as love, forgiveness, compassion, and integrity. Now, through various programs and activities, churches contribute significantly to the moral and ethical fabrics of society. Furthermore, they often serve as beacons of hope and resilience, offering spiritual solace and guidance in times of personal and community crisis. As we draw to a close in this first chapter of the book Navigating Church Transition, I want you to note this, that churches also contribute to social welfare and community development. Many churches engage in charitable work, from feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, to providing education and health services, etc., you name it. Now, this aspect of church activity demonstrates a practical application of faith principles. Now, we are not saved to just get to heaven. We are saved to impact the world. Now, Jesus says we are the salt of the earth. Now, this practical application of faith principles, reflecting a commitment to social justice and care for the less fortunate, is also a fundamental part of the church. However, churches are not without their weaknesses. One of the primary challenges facing many churches is the struggle to remain relevant in a rapidly changing world. Some churches find it difficult to adapt their teachings and practices to resonate with the younger generations or to address contemporary ongoing social issues effectively. Now, this gap can lead to a decline in attendance, not just in attendance, but much more than attendance. It affects the whole health of the church, especially among younger demographics, and a perception of being out of touch with current realities. Are we saying that we should move away from biblical principles and begin to do everything to try to feel among? No. Another weakness is the risk of internal conflict and division. Churches, like any other community, are susceptible to disagreements and power struggles. These conflicts can come from various sources, including theological differences, leadership styles, or financial management. Remember, Jesus also said, if you remember, that offense will surely come. Now, when not managed well, such conflicts or offenses can lead to splits within the congregation, and it damages the church's unity and effectiveness in the process. See you in the next section of chapter 1.